Welcome to Rob's workshop, everybody. So we're going to pin the reversing shaft to the two connecting rods that I made previously. Looking at the drawing, they're calling for a 16th diameter hole in both con rods and a corresponding hole in the ends of the shaft. Not very happy with that idea. Unless I use Loctite or something, and then it could be difficult dismantling it in the future for some reason or other. So the other alternative, of course, is taper pins. I don't have a taper reamer small enough or taper pins of that sort of size anyway. But I do have loads and loads of stainless steel metric grub screws, so I've decided to go along that route instead. So here's one I prepared earlier, M3 grub screw from the bottom, so when it's assembled you won't even see any means of fixture. So I'll do that to the other one as well. Now then, the shaft really needs flats machined at both ends where these con rods are going to be clamped, and the problem comes, how do we hold the shaft? Well, you use the time-honoured tradition of using a collet block, which is great if it was just one flat on the end of a shaft. Just clamp it up, stick it in a vise, machine it, that's it, done. But this one's got one further along the shaft. The problem is that I need to keep the flats exactly in the same plane, parallel to each other, so that the con rods are in alignment. If I use a collet block, there's a long unsupported bit of shaft sticking out of the back, so there's no way I could machine the flat on the rear here without it wobbling around. It would just be a disaster. I can't take it out of the collet and turn it around because I'd lose registration with the first flat that I'd machined. So I've come up with a cunning plan. I'm going to use that. I'm going to machine a V groove parallel with one edge so that the reversing shaft can be clamped in this V, and it'll act in the same way as a V block. You'll have 3 points of contact for a firmer hold of the part whilst you're machining it. There's no way I could just clamp the reversing shaft straight onto that. It's 2 points of contact. It would definitely move under the influence of the cutter later on. So that's my plan. I machine a V groove, clamp the shaft in, and mill some flats. It'll probably take 10 times longer than the actual operation, but then that's always the case with these small jobs. Okay, get back to you. So I've got the reversing shaft clamped in my little homemade jig. I've got the cutter, which is a 3mm 4 flute end mill, centered over where the first flat needs to go. So I'll bring the cutter down, touch off, and then we'll go down a further, say 1/10 1/4 of a millimetre, see how the flat looks on the shaft, and take it from there. Safety glasses on in case the little cutter goes ping. Wish me luck. Here we go. Right, that's 1/10 thou, which is fine. That'll be more than enough for the grub screw to bear against. So I'll just move the cutter across and do the other flat, but I won't bother filming that because it's boring. I'll get back to you. Well, there we go then. That's alright, I think. Not too bad at all. They'll be at the bottom, of course, so you won't even see them. keeps everything in alignment, those flats, so I'm well pleased with that. On to the next bit now, I suppose.